Thank you very, very much for this warm reception. I had a very torrid day today. I must apologize for my tardiness. I came in around 3 p.m. Before leaving Kano last night, my car broke down. So I was like, how am I going to make it to this event? And I had already promised that I'd be here. In the morning, I decided to take my wife's car, and then I realized that I had a flat tire. So yeah, and then at that point in time, I started thinking, maybe my village people are after me, you know? So I came out, I got my friend, Ibrahim Ismail. Yeah, please, a round of applause for him. And then I was like, see, if my village people are after me, they will get us together. Come along with me and accompany me to Zaria for this very important. And on our way, we have a flat tire. This time around, our tire burst. On our way to Zaria. So, well, here and imagine my heartbreak when I arrived after they had finished sharing the jollof rice. I mean, it was so heartbreaking. And you know what they said about Mutanen Kano, suna da kwaɗayi ko? Well, ladies and gentlemen, I am sorry to be here at a point in time where you're all exhausted, but I believe, it is my belief, as my sister over here said, that narcissism is on the rise. So I'm going to say, and I'm going to boldly proclaim, that they probably saved the best for last. No round of applause. All right. People have been talking about a lot of hopeful things, a lot of beautiful things. For my presentation, it's going to be up to you to decide whether it's hopeful or not. What I'll be talking about today is the new model of the job economy. What does that entail? You see, when growing up, we were all taught that education is the key. So we fought tooth and nail to get that key. And after securing the key, we realized that they had changed the padlock. So now, in essence, what I'm trying to say is that after graduation, you graduate with a certificate, and there are no jobs. There aren't enough jobs to go around. Premium Times published in 2021 that Nigeria has the highest rate of unemployment ever in the past 13 years. Unemployment in Nigeria is second highest in the world. I mean, we couldn't even carry first here, you see? Now we have an average of over 500,000 students graduating the NYSC program annually. And the government can only provide jobs for about 10% of that populace. 10% of that populace. The rest of you will either have to work for private firms or create job opportunities of your own. But what if I was to tell you another disheartening news? That about 90% of startups are doomed to fail. 90% of startups. So data from the National Bureau of Statistics has revealed that 13.9 million Nigerian youths unemployed. With a predominantly youthful population, Nigeria with a predominantly youthful population has about 53.4%, okay, more than 60% of that working age population is unemployed. Do you know what that means? It's terrible for any economy. Now, Nelson Mandela says that people, when aroused, are capable of bringing down the towers of oppression and raising the banner of freedom. Barack Obama says that every generation has the opportunity to remake the world. So I am here to tell you all not to lose hope, that there is hope in the future, that there is hope in you. Today, the COVID-19 pandemic left a number of people out of jobs. I think I'm having real difficulty with this. Can you guys hear me without the speaker? Today, the COVID-19 pandemic has left a large number of people out of jobs. I was in a meeting with a GM of BUA, and he told me that recently, during the COVID-19 pandemic, they had half of their staff on shifts. And then they later came to realize that they could actually get their work done with only half of that population. They did not need the people. So the only reason why about half of those people are still employed today is because the CEO felt that, these people have families to feed and so on, and that's why these people are still employed. So what is mankind's greatest threat to job opportunities right now? We're talking about artificial intelligence. We're talking about robots. Are the robots going to take over? Today, more and more jobs are done by computers, machines, and artificial intelligence. And we have the feeling of being gradually replaced.
Janitors, security personnel, all will be replaced in the near future. So if your job is easy, I want you to understand that in the near future, you could be replaced. Accountants, all of this, these are jobs of the future that can be replaced. And it is becoming quite clear that most of the conventional jobs that we know today will not exist in the future market. Today already, the door-to-door salesman has already been replaced. I mean, even the Jehovah's Witnesses have already been replaced by your mobile phone now. So people no longer knock door to door to sell items to you. Right now, you're being bombarded by targeted ads, Facebook, Instagram, so on and so forth. So, Charles Darwin's theory of evolution. I already feel like I'm back in secondary school. Charles Darwin's theory of evolution basically says that, an organism, if it adapts, will survive. That's basically what the theory is talking about. So, what do you do when you are faced with an uncertain future? You already have certificates in your hands and no jobs. What do you do when your job is under threat? In the words of the legendary Mad Titan, I like to borrow inspiration from anywhere. That's Thanos over there. He says, and just like the future, I am inevitable. The only thing that can't be changed is change itself. Today, we've got people who are literally trying to reinvent the wheel. Anything is possible. What is most important is your belief in yourself. What else can you invent today? You see, before the invention of the nail gun, the hammer had been around for over 500 years. For over 500 years. And then somebody just woke up one day and decided that, you know what, I've had enough of hitting my hand whenever I'm trying to hit the nail. And as a result, I'm going to invent something that's going to change the face of carpentry today. And before you know it, the nail gun was invented. So how many of you have ever thought about reinventing something simple? How many of you want to be part of that group that can reinvent the wheel? Why do I feel like everybody is all responsive here? Please, Let me hear you guys. Hello? All right, thank you. Now, when the first automobile was created, everyone was put out of business. I mean, even the horse was put out of business. The carriage maker, the chariot driver, the groomsman, the stable boy, all of them were put out of business. But then, the invention of the automobile came with brand new opportunities. Your day-to-day mechanics, the tire salesman, the person who sells your plugs, spare part sellers, the electrician working on the car, and so on and so forth. So many more jobs were also created. So is it a misconception that AI will put so many people out of jobs? Or will AI be the key to unlocking new market potentials? Who knows what we could have in future? We could have something like AI markets. We could have something like AI hospitals. We already have AI developers and AI software engineers. So all of this opens up new room for new specialties. But let's not forget that AI, despite the fact that it can do a huge number of things, AI will still and will always be handicapped. Why do you think that AI will be handicapped? Because AI lacks the ability to multitask. For AI, it is mostly garbage in and garbage out. What you feed it is what it will give you in return. AI cannot explain its decisions. AI does not understand the difference between morals and ethics. You feed it an algorithm, it gives you that. It cannot explain why it arrived at a conclusion. AI cannot give moral judgment, and AI cannot be creative. That is an important aspect. The jobs of the future are mostly going to be creative jobs. They are mostly going to be jobs that need you to think outside the box. A wise man once said, think outside the box, right? A wiser man said, think without the box. But I like to say, bring back that box. There might be something of use in there. So I believe that you should think outside the box, inside the box, on top of the box, beside the box, below the box, everywhere around the box until that box becomes an illusion. So here are some of the jobs that can be replaced. If you see yourself there, I am sorry, but in the near future, it don't be for you. All right, drivers. Already we've got Tesla is working on automated cars. They've been working on them for a very long time. Delivery riders. We've already got drones delivering packages for people now. Most personal assistants, I am sorry to tell you, but Siri might probably replace you. And if you've been thinking about getting a job working for Dangote as his personal PA, I think we'll beat you to that too. So accountants, cashiers, farmers, janitors, maids, launderers. I'm not talking about money launderers here. And security personnel. Here are some of the irreplaceable jobs of the future. Teachers and tutors. People still like that field. Please, a round of applause for the teachers. You can't beat that feeling. You know, some of us hated maths simply because of the teachers that were teaching, and some of us loved it simply because of the people who were teaching. I know we have a lot of teachers here today. So, medical practitioners too, fellow creatives, I like to put myself in that bracket, artisans, judges, negotiators, diplomats, therapists, and architects. Sima Ogajimki. I mean, I was very impressed when Rebecca came up here. Someone who got a first class in chilling. I mean, that's what we used to call it there, Department of Chilling. Yeah, so you can see her creative arts, because she is a member of the creative arts, she's not going to be out of a job in the near future. So in a nutshell, artificial intelligence cannot replace what it means to be human. So I want you guys to focus on your humanity. You know, bring out the best in you, bring out the creative spark in you. It's all a matter of what? Perception. Critical thinking is therefore the job of a human being, not the job of a machine. So several jobs will still remain at the end of the year, but the most important thing is that you must have the ability to learn and unlearn, and the ability to relearn. Thank you very much. Now, most people would leave you with a very important quote or a word of wisdom. I'll leave you with one of my favorite quotes. Knowledge is the lost property of the believer. Wherever he finds it, it is his for the taking. So I believe that just like myself, a lot of the speakers that came before me must have dropped words of wisdom. And I want you to understand that the voice of wisdom shall be heard even if it is but a whisper. Thank you very much.